Today we're going to be talking about superstitions and good luck symbols. A great number of people and nationalities and ethnicities all have their superstitions, but the Italians and the Sicilians seem to take it to the next level. There are so many superstitions we really can't go into them all, but these are the most popular ones. Sometimes superstitions actually serve a useful purpose and might even work. The most popular one is the Trinacria. It's a symbol that represents Medusa, and the three legs represent the beauty of the coast of Sicily. Now, it was believed in mythology that Medusa, if you looked her in the eyes, you would turn to stone. Sicilians wanted to protect from invading armies, and so they would put this symbol on their homes or their churches or their temples. And it was believed that whoever entered there looking to cause harm would be turned to stone or face severe bad luck. As you know, Sicily is the crossroads between Africa, the Mediterranean, and Europe. All sorts of invading armies have been through there. The Greeks, it's close to North Africa, the Europeans, even the Americans went through Sicily to get to Mussolini during World War II. They went through Sicily with the help of, oddly enough, gangster Lucky Luciano. Sometimes these superstitions have a practical use. It's just common sense, although common sense is pretty rare amongst most people. Never put new shoes on a kitchen table. I think even the stupidest people know not to put dirty shoes on a kitchen table, but you should never even put new shoes on a kitchen table because you were trying them on the store, they were on the floor, they were on your feet, they may have been on other people's feet, so never put new shoes on a kitchen table. This is a way that superstition implies common sense. It was probably made up by an Italian mother somewhere. Another one is just aesthetics. Bread should always be served face up, never down. And when you have something as beautiful as bread, food of life, of course you should always serve it face up. So especially for these OCD people. One I wasn't aware of was when somebody asks you to pass the salt, you pass it but put it down on the table. Do not let it cross from hand to hand. That means you're going to get into a fight with that person somewhere down the line. One of my favorite good luck symbols is that of Saint Joseph. I once went through the painful experience of selling a house. It was on the market for almost a year. Deals fell through. I rearranged my schedule one time early on a Sunday morning and they didn't even show up. I even said to them, hey, it's early Sunday morning, and it was a rainy, miserable morning. They said, no, this is the only time we could come. We left the house for an hour or two, went to a diner. We weren't even hungry. We just ordered tea or something. And they never even showed up. I mean, that was just rude. So I asked my realtor, who was also Italian, if she would be willing to bury the St. Joseph upside down in the front yard. And believe it or not, within a couple of months, the house sold. The reasoning behind this is that St. Joseph always found a home for his family. And the idea is you bury it upside down, facing where you want to live. Call it irony, call it coincidence, call it superstition, or call it luck. But 2 months later, not only did the house sell, but we're living in the exact direction where we pointed it, or where we really wanted to live. Now, sometimes superstition serves no purpose at all. It's just silly symbolism. And that is the hands and the horns. You'll see this on a lot of Italian jewelry. A lot of the old school people wear this. If you got the hands, that's like a jinx. Okay, so if somebody wants to, in basketball or baseball, you throw them the fingers and the horns, and they'll miss that shot or won't get that goal or whatever the case may be. The other one is supposed to deflect that jinx. So if you're wearing one and not the other, you could give it or you could take it. So often you'll see people wearing both the hands and the horn to either give it or take it. If you don't have them, I don't know. Again, this doesn't make much sense, but it's very, very popular. You should only shake hands with your right hand only. I remember one time I was carrying a camera in my right hand because I'm righty, and I went to go shake a fellow Italian with my left hand, and he said, no, you always shake with your right hand. Put the camera in your other hand and shake with your right hand. Never toast with water. Not sure the reasoning behind that either, but let's face it, Italians really love their wine. Spilling anything of any kind is always a problem, especially if it's food. You never want to waste food. You never want to create a mess. You never want to disrupt dinner. So if you knock over a glass of wine or a glass of milk or olive oil, now you all have to stop. You got to get up. You got to clean. It just disrupts the whole meal, and you know how much Italians really love their food. I heard one time, I said, why is there no ice in Italy? Every time I go out to get something to drink, I ask for a soda. They'll give it to you. It's cool, but it's not cold. Why can't I get ice? They say it's not good for you. Again, I don't understand that. I don't know, even from a medical standpoint, I don't know that drinking cold beverages is bad for your stomach. Maybe if you have a sore throat, I imagine. But you should eat lentils on New Year's Day always, because that is going to bring you prosperity in the new year. And you don't want to do it any other day. You have to do it. That's like the first meal you should have is lentils. One of the ones that I was very much aware of when I was little was going in one door of a home and out the other. Now, when my aunt used to babysit me, I would drive her up the wall. I wasn't especially a good kid. I wasn't a bad kid, but I was mischievous. And I would go in the front door and run out the back door and run back in the front door, and it would drive her up the wall because she believed it was bad luck. And maybe because she told me it was bad luck, I thought it was funny, and I was mocking her at the age of 3 or 4. Poor woman, no wonder why she smoked 2 packs a day. The irony there is she lived to her late 80s, never once even had a cough. There are probably so many more that I'm leaving out, but you get the idea of superstitions and the Italian and the Sicilian superstitions. It's very interesting. I learn new ones all the time, but these are some of the more common ones. I'm glad we got this episode out of the way. Now we can get back to cooking, eating, and drinking in our next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Ciao.